lot of effort. So as I said, the one thing that will eventually matter is people. Each of you guys looking at each other right now don't obviously appreciate the value of the people around you right now. Take my word, few years down the line, what you are will be measured, will be tangibly related to whom you know and how much they look up to you and how much you look up to them. Right now it's just college mates, friends, still kids, going around canteens, scouting for food and money. But trust me, few years down the line, when you wanna do something, it matters that if you can pick up your phone and call 3 or 4 guys and say you're doing something, and they start talking about, hey, we're all from IIT, there's PAN IIT, there's IIT alumni, and all of that, and they still have some bonding. It's good and bad. Don't get obsessed with the brand IIT as such. Obsession is always bad, but at the same time, it gives you a nice synergy that later you can think about, hey, these are the guys I know. And when I talk about people, I always talk about one line that Eric Schmidt always keeps saying. He says, ace hire ace. So what it means is, if you'll only be able to hire someone good if you are good. And the downside of it is, if you have a bunch of morons around you, you are a moron too. So this is very important skill to learn, especially as an entrepreneur. I'm sure everybody talks about it. The most important trait that you can possess is, talk to someone who is smart and realizing that he or she is smart instantly. Maybe basically measuring someone who is good, and then ability to motivate and inspire and convince them to come and work with you, and keep doing that in the long term. That pretty much summarizes, or everything else that I'm going to talk about is going to be a result of that. If you can do that, even if you can do that for 2 or 3 people, you got to start basically. This is where Bill Gates did it. This is what Sergey and Larry did. This is what anybody whom you can think of did. They're very, very, very good at convincing people to work with them and motivating and inspiring them to keep working with them. And it is not a talent. It is not something that you're born with. It is something that everybody has to acquire. It is an acquired talent. It comes with your own self-belief. Obviously, if I come to office and work 9 to 5, and if I ask my team to work 24 hours, it won't work. So you have to lead from the front. You have to show that passion, that people, that imperturbable trust that you can. It's almost like you have to become a magnet yourself to attract people. Once you have people, that's all that matters in a company. A lot of people talk and think, at least I don't agree with the statement that you need an idea to start a company. You don't need an idea to start a company. Ideas are for making papers, patents. Ideas are for doing research. Ideas are for building, as I said, just something theoretical. You need the passion to build a company or to build something. Ideas will come. You don't have to wait for doing something. As I said, the real differentiator of an entrepreneur is that he's not defined by the ideas he has. He's defined by how he can take any idea in the world and build a product out of it. So you can start thinking. I'll tell you my story. We were initially, when we started Vivu, all we wanted to do was to work on video. That's all we wanted to do. And we were talking, and we were imagine those radio shows that you have where people call in and say, hey, I want to talk with so and so celebrity. we wanted to do it on TV with video. That's where we started. So we wanted to put people on air, on TV with video. And this was our idea. I mean, this was what we wanted to do in the beginning. And we are obviously not doing it right now. Someday, maybe if we get popular enough, CNN or Disney might agree to do it. But we realized that into getting into these big networks, all these CNNs, BBCs, obviously it's very tough to convince them as a small company. So we changed that, and whatever we built so far until then, we realized that it could be applied to video conferencing or video collaboration. So where I'm getting to is, initially where we started doesn't matter. We built a team, and every day we go and we say, hey, this is not working, we'll change that. Imagine if you come and work for a company, write code for a month, or do whatever development in your domain for a month, and on the 31st day, the CEO or whoever or the founder comes and tells you that, well, let's not do it. No, maybe it doesn't make sense, let's do something else. You just spent a month of your time, 24 hours, doing something, building something, and we might have to throw it away. So this is where the people portion comes across. The big companies are obviously have the advantage to plan and to have an infrastructure for having 6 months, 1 year planning, but a startup or a young company has to be nimble and versatile. So that is where people come in, and you need people who can understand and who can look up to you and who can say, hey, that's okay. I'll throw it away, I'll still work on something else. So this is the kind of people or passion that you want to build right from the beginning in a company. When I say passion, passion almost comes with frustration. You guys are all frustrated, I'm sure. I was frustrated when I was in the campus, for sure. It is only because you're all passionate to do something. It is only because you come with this exceedingly, I would say, in a very egotistic view of the world, saying, hey, I am a topper. I know I went through this, I know you all go through this, and you want to do something that is justifiably tangible to your caliber. And it is very understandable, and it is easy to get frustrated. But what really matters eventually is passion shouldn't actually cause frustration. Real passion comes with a lot of patience. I keep telling this to a lot of people. It comes naturally to hunters. Obviously they are hungry. Obviously they want to eat food. But you can't just go randomly hunt things. You have to sit and pause and wait for in 10 seconds or minutes to take your optimum opportunity to strike. Otherwise, you obviously won't be able to strike anything. You just keep going and blindly shooting someone. People can hit sometimes. It works for some people. Obviously, it works for a lot of companies also. But ideally, be patient. I know everybody has passion. What you need to realize at the end of the day, although there are only 6,000, actually when I was here, there were only 2,500 IITs coming out every year, BTechs, and then there are MTechs. Although there are only 2,500 coming out, there are at least 30 or 40 other countries who are doing the same thing. Especially in the US, there will be at least a few tens of thousands of people who are equally caliber. And come on, they all have passion. So if you think that you're frustrated because you're special, you're not able to do something, that doesn't make any sense. There are millions of special people all around. All of them won't get opportunities at the same time. You won't get the opportunity in the 4 years, or you won't get the opportunity in the first year, second year, third year, fourth year. It is not in your hands. So channel your passion properly. So what it means is, let's say if you want to build a company in the future, if you want to manage few hundreds of employees, the first thing that you need is how you manage yourself. And that comes with how you can channel your energy and passion. So obviously, along with passion, you need lots and lots of brilliance. Obviously, you can't build a company just out of sheer luck. I mean, you can build a company, go sit somewhere and think of something. Again, there have been people who have built companies without being brilliant. They're brilliant in a different way. When I say brilliance here, I meant purely in the technical context. So people have built actually Facebook is a classic example. Facebook is not a brilliant product. You all know. If you don't know, then maybe you should read more. Facebook obviously is not a brilliant product. What Facebook is Facebook started something that was fun, that was unique, and then they built when they saw a lot of traction, obviously, and then they realized that hey, this is something compelling, and then they built a lot of technology around it. But come on, what it is was really a website where people come in and chat with each other or talk with each other. So there are examples where initial brilliance is not required, but at the end of the day, if you are building any company or anything, you need lots of brilliance at some stage or other. It will be better if you have it in the beginning. So be prepared that you have to solve something that nobody else has solved, and you have to persist solving it. You have to keep doing it. Just because you say, hey, I solved a challenging problem today, so I'll go sleep for the next week, won't work. You have to keep solving challenging problems every single day. I keep telling this to everyone, and I keep doing it myself. Every single night you sleep, you think about whether you did something really challenging that you're satisfied with on that particular day. And this has to be done every single day, 7 days a week, no weekends, no Sundays, no holidays, all the year. If you can do it, it's not easy. For sure it's not easy. But if you can keep doing it, that's where it matters. And that's where big companies are brought up. So there are a lot of brilliant people. Again, you need to bring them on board, and you need these brilliant sparks to build a company. And obviously you need a lot of leadership. Not a lot, maybe one or two of them at least. People need someone whom you can look up to. What's the most frustrating part in any kind of environment is when you don't have anyone look up to. So I mean, imagine if you're going to a class taught by a professor whom you are not, whom you don't think is eligible to be teaching in the first place. You'll get frustrated, right? So this happens all the time. So you need to be in an environment where the leader is someone whom you can look up to. And if you want to become a leader yourself, you need to prepare yourself to take up the responsibility. It's not easy. It comes with lots and lots of responsibility and lots of patience. So as I said, you need to start from the beginning. You need to say, I am going to be the best, and then I'll ask people to be better. So you need to lead right from the beginning. You need people who can lead from the beginning. Some people are good leaders, by born leaders. Some people are not so good leaders. It doesn't matter. So what really matters is, again, bring leaders on board and ability to work with it. Sometimes you might have to do that. For example, if you take Google's example, they brought in Eric Schmidt, and he became the CEO, and the founders, they took a side step and still work with it and build a big, beautiful company. So it doesn't necessarily, you don't necessarily have to be the leader, but again, leadership is something that you need to understand that is essential to a company.